For the last 68 days, I produced on average of 50 pieces of content, both long form and short form. Now, if I was to pay a video editor for this, it was going to cost anywhere between 8,000 to probably 12,000 euros to do this, but I managed to do it all for 60 euros. Now, before anyone jumps down my throat and turns around and says video editors are worth their money, I'm not going to disagree with you. They are, if you can afford it. Go hire one. Pretty much it'll save you a massive amount of time. But if you're in the position and you can't hire one, this is where things need to change. Now, for me, I stopped outsourcing all my videos, and it had nothing to do with what you probably think it is. I used to think hiring, I suppose, a video editor was a professional option, but it probably still is. But here's why I stopped anyway. So the biggest problem we have here is when you go to outsource video editing, more often than not, you're never charged based on just per video. It might get maybe the odd occasion, but most times what people are looking for is retainers. They're looking for a retainer for everything. And this straight away can go from 900 euros to probably 2,500 euros per month for a retainer. And this is only going to get you probably maybe 4 to 8 pieces of content. And if it's a case you're going to mix long form in that, this could massively go up. Now, again, this works out at around 2 to 270 euros, again, per video. And now you can start to see how this all slowly stacks up. So for me, producing 50 rough videos, say, each month, this is 13 grand. Again, not sustainable for a small business unless you have hundreds of thousands coming into it each week. Now, again, I'm not going to argue with you that, money buys, I suppose, your taste, judgment, and things like that. Professional editor is going to know all these little tricks. It's going to 100% beat my system and what I've built up. The system I've built up is the system that helps save me money and produce content that I need to produce. And again, it saves me so much time, which is another big factor that most people don't bring into when it comes into content production. So what most people don't pay attention to is not the actual, just the cost. It's the time, the calendar point of view, I suppose. On average, it can take anywhere between 5 to 8 days for a piece of content to go through the entire cycle. So if you outsource it, you have to upload your recording, you have to put it into a folder, they have to access it, they have to edit it, they have to send it back to you, you have to approve or make changes that you might want, and there's certain things that you know that they probably don't know enough about your business. And if you're obviously jumping through different video editors regularly, you're going to have this is going to constantly compound and get worse and harder for you. So as I said, 5 to 8 days for doing that. You have 2 to 3 hours of writing, I suppose, the brief every single video. So this is giving them an overview of what you're thinking with the video. Because as much as people would still argue about AI doing the video editing for you and doing that work for you, what's happening straight away is when you have to outsource it, you have to give them an idea of what your video is about. So yes, they'll watch it, but they still need to understand what are you trying to push, what are you trying to sell, what's the key purpose of your video. And I think this is why, again, more of your own time is wasted here on writing out briefs. Now, again, it might not take you 2 to 3 hours to write a brief. It might only take you an hour to write it, half an hour to write it. Again, it's time that you have to spend extra that you personally think that you're saving, I suppose, time in general on it. In publishing, if you're publishing like me, which was roughly 5 times a week, yes, I've changed that a little bit now. No editor can do that for you and on a budget. So what's going to happen is you're going to need to have maybe 3 or 4 different editors for it. You need to outsource every single video. And if it's taking you, 5 to 8 days, you pretty much need a mass amount of content pre-recorded so you can kind of get set up so you have a steady flow of it, obviously every single day. And it's if they decide the editor is finished with you for whatever reason, the price has changed or they just leave, again, it's going to take you probably another month or so to replace that editor with and probably train them up, I suppose, to the way that you want your videos or get them used to your habits. So what do I actually pay, I suppose, for my video editing now? Well, it's pretty much about 60 euros a month, give or take. That's for Claude. That's for, I still use CapCut a little bit, but again, you can use the free version of this. And that is it. That is pretty much my tech I stack when it comes to video editing. Now, it's works out about maybe 120 to 240, give or take, per video. But again, it's just a massive amount. It saves me not only time, it saves me money and time. And particularly, it's not even about the money side of it. It's probably about the time. You don't have to spend as long doing it. And you can still probably build this out for just probably 20 euros, give or take, a month if you wanted it. And that again comes down to just using the likes of Claude or any other LLM, I suppose, to help you kind of edit the video and cut the video down into pieces. And again, it's just probably a great way to do it. But the entire process here, I suppose, of how I go about it from start to finish is, for me, I record my video. So I do my brainstorming with Claude. Claude breaks it all down, creates my talking points, my videos, creates kind of the angle I'm going for. It doesn't give me a script because for whatever way I can't read from scripts, I just can't manage it. What I do is I have it in front of me at the moment is bullet points that I need to try and keep on. Otherwise, I'll ramble on for hours. But the thing is, when I have talking points and that comes along, gets my recording, understands the talking points, and straight away understands what needs to be done, it then breaks it all down into the individual chapters. I have keywords queued throughout the video that Claude understands that I use these to cut bits of the video, I suppose, things like that. And this is pretty much it. I get a video output then. It allows me to edit it really quickly in, say, hyperframes. If I want to do it through that, I can make adjustments. So at the moment on the screen, hopefully you can see maybe a card popping up, and this card is just going to show maybe my AI marketing hub. And I think these visual and I suppose cues that I can set, or audio cues I suppose I can set, showcase what AI can do when it comes to editing. And again, it's just a brilliant way of, I suppose, structuring it. And again, I get a finished video done and dusted for me at roughly what, let's average it out at €2, give or take, per video. Quality is not as good as a professional editor. I can't emphasize that enough, but the quality is still better than what I can do myself. And again, I can't afford an editor, so again, it just saved me on that side of things. So the two big failures, I suppose, when it comes to using AI as part of your video editing system is pretty much, it's two clear and obvious ones. AI has no taste. So pretty much what you think personally is good and you give the instructions to AI is going to think it's good. Now, for me, if I go to a video editor and I say, I think everything needs to be on the left-hand side of the screen and it needs to be a real pink card pop up on screen, AI is going to do that perfectly for me. But the problem is a video editor will turn around and say to you, no, that's not what's going to look good in the video, and it's going to give you feedback on it. Now, you can obviously tweak this and start to build up things you like and bringing them into videos. But again, what's happening is you're bringing in things you're like, maybe not what your audience likes. And this is one of probably the biggest problems when it comes to using AI. Unless it has some sort of way that it can learn from videos that are in your niche maybe and help guide it a lot more. So yes, you will spend a lot of time of setting it all up and trying to kind of knock out some of these problems, but you will still have some of these, I suppose, problems pop up constantly. And again, I'm not telling you to go to AI and prompt the video into existence. You're not going to be able to do that, because what's going to happen is you're going to have something that's complete rubbish. So you use AI to help guide you. You use AI to help, obviously, the edits. You will still need to do some minor edits for yourself. But again, it's only going to be probably 10 minutes of actually editing, and you're pretty much ready to go from there. So the final verdict is simple and straightforward. You outsource it to an editor, it's going to cost you €13,000 for the 50 pieces of content. You do it yourself, you're going to spend probably 40 days nearly actively working on your own videos and content, which pretty much means you lose all them days for working on actual client work or what your actual job is. Or you use AI for under €60 a month, you have the entire system built for yourself. Give it the video, get it to edit the video, and you have it there and then. You can make the changes, make the updates as you need. So not only are you saving yourself money, you're saving yourself time. Pretty much one final, I suppose, big problem between the both of them is when you have the perfect editor, and I wish I had it, what ends up happening is at some stage they're going to leave. And as soon as they leave, it all resets again. You pretty much have to go back to the beginning and teach the next person what you like. With AI, the difference is it's never going to leave you. It's pretty much going to be in a position that it's going to constantly improve. Every video is going to learn from what you like and what you don't like, and it's going to slowly but surely get better and better. So look, that's my view on AI editing versus, I suppose, video editors, and explanation, I suppose, of why I'm actually using an AI editor. So look, let me know in the comments what you think. Yes, pretty much the final note here is AI is not going to replace video editors, but it's going to replace video editing for people like myself who run a small business that can't afford to outsource it because of money and time. So yeah, take that. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope everyone has a great day.